What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FudgeMuppet. I'm Scott, and this is part 2 of the Paladin. Now, let's get straight into it. Now, because we want Vigilant Recycler really early on, we're actually going to focus on our minor skill to start with. So we'll get our science up quite a bit. Now, here you could pick any of these. Most of the early ones are up to you. You could use intense training, but let's just go with Lady Killer. Science. Vigilant Recycler requires, I think, 70 science. So, then we'll start focusing on our energy weapons and our other things. Let's actually just double check what Vigilant Recycler requires. Level 6, 70. Yep. Okay. Educated is a very good one. He had Brotherhood of Steel parents. Like, there's no reason he shouldn't be educated. Let's balance out our skills a bit, our major skills. So, we'll go with melee weapons and energy weapons a bit. Focus on melee a bit. We'll just juggle between them. We've got Vigilant Recycler, so we can get our energy weapons, recipes, recycling recipes, and we're more likely to recover drained ammunition. Energy weapons, and we'll put some into... What we'll do is we'll start with Unarmed, because we want a heavy emphasis on Unarmed, because we want to get to Piercing Strike at level 12. So, Super Slam, we have 45 melee weapons and 6 strength. We can get that at level 8. That's very, very, very helpful. Let's get Unarmed up. And then we'll need that Unarmed of 70. We may as well just take it all the way to 80, because why not? I would pick Finesse. Finesse is always a good one. That just extra 5 luck for criticals. It's not actually 5 luck, but extra critical. Hit chance. Energy weapons, we'll focus on maxing that. And now we've got Piercing Strike, so for our Unarmed. So we negate 15 points of damage threshold, and we'll be using the Paladin Toaster earlier on, so we may as well just focus on Unarmed. And this is what you would be doing. And then secondly, you'd want to be going after melee weapons, because you'll be getting to Oh Baby, but you need to be a higher level to get to that. Next, Adamantium Skeleton is a good choice, and it's one of our essential perks, because we want to make him a big sort of tanky dude, and it will help him out in melee combat. We'll just finish up with energy weapons. Back down to, maybe what we'll do is actually boost our medicine quite a bit. Get our medicine up to par. And now we have Meltdown, which causes a corona of harmful energy. Now, the corona of harmful energy is actually based off the damage of the energy weapon. So if you have a really high damage on the energy weapon, like the Gauss Rifle has really high damage, you can get a really, really powerful explosion. So it's a really good perk. Really works well with the Gauss Rifle. Now we can go little bits into... We could go bits into repair. We'll finish up with melee weapons. We'll get our melee weapons focused, because we need 100 melee weapons to focus wield Oh Baby the best. So we'll get that. Now I would say let's get tags, so we can, because we want a lot of skills for this character. So let's tag something that's lagging a bit, and I think so. We'll tag repair, and get that up to 50. Then we'll focus on science a bit more. Get our repair up a good chunk. And let's have a look through. I would say Purifier is really good. 50% more damage with melee and unarmed weapons against Centaurs, Night Stalkers, Spore Plants, Deathclaws, Super Mutants, and Feral Ghouls. 50% is a lot of damage, and so it'll be very useful. And you know, if a Deathclaw comes up to you, Super Mutants as well. They're pretty common, somewhat difficult enemies. I mean, Deathclaws are hard, but you try and want to avoid them and pick them off with your Gauss Rifle anyway. So let's get Repair to 95, so we can get the Jury Rigging perk. Other options... no, Jury Rigging. Definitely Jury Rigging. Let's go with Science. We'll get our Science. Now we can get our Science and Repair finished. And now we just have to work on Medicine. So we've got energy weapons, unarmed, melee, repair, and science fully maxed. So I would go next with Well, we're wearing power armor, so we don't need weapon handling, but you could pick weapon handling if you just don't want to wear power armor all the time for whatever reason. But I would recommend you do. Toughness is a good one. That'll work well with the implant we've got and Adamantium Skeleton. So we'll go for 2 ranks of toughness, I think. And get medicine. Medicine again. And we'll go with toughness again. And then we'll max out medicine. And next, I would say, you know, you could use this early, but speech. Speech is always good. And it fits the character in trying to convince the Brotherhood of Steel to work with the NCR. So it works well because you're that sort of mediating character. Let's go with Life Giver, I think, to give us that extra bit of health wherever we can find it. Or maybe we don't have enough for it. That's right, we don't have enough for it. Well, because we're switching between a Gorse Rifle and a Super Sledge, let's get Quick Draw because it's 50% faster, so we'll be able to switch on the fly instead of it being so slow, like lugging your big Super Sledge out, which normally takes a bit of time. And then our last level up, Speech. So we maxed all our major and minor skills by level 30, as well as getting Speech to 83. And then finally, I would say you could pick something like Grim Reaper's Sprint, something pretty general. That's always a nice one. So thank you very much for tuning in. That was part 2 of the Paladin, how to level him up to level 30. So I'll see you all later. Social media links are in the description. Ciao.